let us check this out. We're gonna take a look at casual, geographic, and why the hell are you giving me the wrong... Thank you. Hug. Oh, because I put it in the wrong damn browser, that's why. Hang on. Put this in the wrong browser. Yeah, we're gonna check out Casual Geographic doing, why a world without sharks would be your biggest nightmare. Oh god, it's doing this, isn't it? Oh, this is killing me, Smalls.
Cheer 100. The YouTuber Grumpy is talking about is the one I mentioned earlier. Guy from Florida.
Oh, okay, the guy from Florida. Gotcha. What the fuck? OBS does not like Google Chrome for some reason. I don't know why, but OBS is not liking Google Chrome. Yeah, I don't understand it, but fuck it, we'll... Screw it, we'll just, do it live. Anyway, alright, so... Let's check this out. It's Casual Geographic. We love Casual Geographic. And it's sharks. I'm actually very fascinated about sharks. Yeah, I'm really... And, that's the goat. Thank you for the follow and welcome. Okay, Jones, have a good night. Get some rest. It's, very early in the morning for you. Have a good night. Alright, let us check out Casual and see what he's got for us with sharks. Because he said, because the description says, warning, Casual Geographic is not responsible if you want to go hug a shark after this one.
Remember when I said I'd show a cactus my uvula before I go out into the ocean? Yeah, it was a tough cactus. I went swimming with sharks to see them in...
Oh, the shark pooped him. You gotta poop. It's so cute.
In person, and instead almost saw Steve Irwin. Shout out to the GOAT. That aside, I'm gonna make you like sharks in this video, but before things get better, first they gotta get worse, so thalassophobic's warning, here's the part where it hurts.
Oh boy. God, that's creepy.
Honest question, has there ever been a horror movie about jellyfish? It's not like Poseidon didn't flush a metric ton of source material. You're looking at, unironically, one of the worst sights in nature. A jellyfish
Jesus.
bloom. It's a problem for many reasons. One, it's basically a bath bomb from Shaitan, but also cause it's one of the last signs the ocean gives before it hits the point of no return. When a part of Neptune's neighborhood falls apart and can't support the animals in it, the last step usually involves getting gentrified by jellyfish, since the same conditions that are unlivable for most are usually where Satan's shopping bags thrive. And don't think because you're on land you're safe. Not only have these blooms caused legit power outs, but about half of the oxygen on Earth comes from the same phytoplankton these blooms eat. So why am I talking about jellyfish in a video that was supposed to be about sharks? Well, if you're scared of one, you should probably thank the other. Sharks are the ocean equalizer, keeping other animals in line from their spot at the top of the food web. Near the top. We're getting to that. Basically, sharks...
Okay, wait, hang on a second.
At the top of the food web. Near the top. We're getting to that. Basically, sharks...
Yeah, because that was an orca that just took out that shark. Wait, is that a shark or a dolphin? The angle's really too... That's a dolphin! I think. No, maybe that's a shark. Yeah, that's a shark. The angle is tough to see. Yeah, and orcas, like, orcas are fucking vicious. Like, Free Willy loved to, like, oh, orcas are beautiful and friendly, and look at it, you can pet its tongue. No, an orca will fuck you up. There's a reason why the orca is known as the sea wolf. So yeah. Orcas equal, orcas greater than shark. Yeah, because they'll not only fuck you up in sea, they'll come on land and fuck you up too. Exactly, Bobby. They give zero fucks. And orca does give zero fucks. They will watch seals 20 feet in the air just to fuck with them. Just because it's fun. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
According to that, basically, sharks eat the big fish that would eat the little fish that would eat the jellyfish polyps. The ocean is a Jenga tower, and sharks are the one block that can bring it all down. Now, it's not as simple as I just made it sound, where no sharks automatically means more ocean acne, but you really don't realize how fast the sea would fold without sharks. That is until you realize what their actual day looks like. Sharks aren't just the equalizer, they're the cleanup crew, mostly going around picking off the dead and dying. You won't see them chasing around small fry that probably aren't even worth it. The same way you probably wouldn't drive 45 minutes for a bag of chips. I hope. It's why, if you want to check your ego, swim in a shiver of sharks and watch how hard you get ignored like J-Lo in the Bronx. I was surrounded by Galapagos sharks, and the closest I got to becoming a hashtag was the ocean slamming me against the bars like I owed it something. It was like an MMA cage match with Mother Nature that got way too personal. I wonder why. But yeah, the sharks could not care less about me. They really do treat you like an NPC. I did learn that because sharks can detect electromagnetic fields, if you stick a GoPro deep enough, you can say you booped a shark. Just know, that was the most action I got all day. And if more people realized how often they get snubbed by sharks even when they're right under us, you'd realize why you're statistically more likely to get flattened by a vending machine, KO'd by a coconut, or even past tense while putting socks on, than get milked by a shark. It usually takes...
Well, yeah, I mean, like, shark attacks, like, sharks will not attack a human, especially a calm human, because they're only attracted to, like, thrashing, for the most part, and they have, like, sharks have learned how their prey behave in water. Like, some sharks will, like, of course, sharks have attacked humans, but the number, like, there are far fewer shark attacks that...
Good night, Ember. I have to head off early tonight. Have a good rest of stream. Bleed Purple HD cheer 100.
Okay, Mannix, have a good night's rest too. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, I mean, humans probably do not taste good. Let me check something. Yeah, so basically there have been a grand total. As of August 30th, there have been 50 shark bite attacks in 2024. 12 of them were provoked. One was a fatal, and one was possibly a scavenge. Oh, sorry, that's worldwide. Sorry, 52 shark attacks worldwide in 2024. In the US, there were 31 shark bites in 2024, 15 in Florida, 2 in Hawaii, 1 in California, 5 in Texas, 5 in North Carolina, and 1 in South Carolina. 2 were provoked, and 1 was fatal. Yeah. So, there have been, in the US, there's Ohio. Wait, what? Bull shark swims far up, sure, as far as Ohio. Yeah, off the south coast of Texas, I'm sure, baby Davis. Like in the Gulf? It's probably in the Gulf of Mexico. But yeah, grand total 31 shark bite attacks. Now, let's contrast that to, hang on. Hang on. Let's see. Here we go. Now, contrast that with, I just chose deer. Okay? On average, there are 200 deaths worldwide each year due to deer-related accidents. In the United States, deer attacks on humans result in roughly 120 injuries per year. So, I mean, compare that. This was the United States. 31 shark attacks versus Would I say 122? 120. 31 shark attacks versus 120 deer
I am
attacks. You are
guessing the
more.
provoked attacks were Florida because Florida reasons.
Hang on. No. It said, I'm not sure how they're reading this, but it says the 2 provoked and 1 fatal attack was California and Hawaii. There have been 2 shark attack bites in Hawaii, 1 fatal. And there were 10 shark attack bites in Australia, 2 provoked, 0 fatal. Florida, it was 3 provoked, 0 fatal. So it was Hawaii where it looks like it was fatal. So yeah, I mean, for comparison's sake, it's you're more likely to get hurt by a deer in the United States than a shark. So yeah, it's like absolutely, sharks are misunderstood. And you know what we can thank for this bullshit too. You absolutely know what we can thank for this. Thank you, Hollywood, for demonizing the shark. It's literally, this is all because of Hollywood. Sharks are demonized because they make great villains in movies. Type light. Yeah, if you leave the fucking sharks alone, they're gonna leave you alone. Because they don't want to eat you.
It's bad RNG or a surfer adopting the silhouette of a seal. But why are sharks so scary? Actually,
Yeah,
takes
let me back
bad
up to what he says.
or even past tense while putting socks on, then get milked by a shark. It usually takes bad RNG or a surfer adopting the silhouette of a seal. But why are sharks so scary? Actually, it sounds easy. It's a prehistoric predatory steroid guppy with permateeth, but honestly, I think it's deeper than that. Sharks, snakes, and spiders. These are the arguably 3 most feared animals on Earth, and it's likely because we're hardwired to be afraid of them. Snakes are legless, cold-blooded reptiles that even monkeys will throw stones at. On the other end, spiders have too many eyes, too many legs, and show up too.
Cheer 100. I quote leadership. Don't fuck with the wildlife.
And I think I can tell you, I don't know if Casual's gonna say this. I think I have an excellent idea of why people are afraid of sharks. And the reasoning is actually very simple. Sharks can move in the water very well, and they have the means to kill you. Humans cannot move that well in the water. So the fact is, like, 9 times out of 10, the shark is going to see you before you see the shark. And the shark has a hell of a lot more maneuverability, and it does not have to come up for air. So that is a big part of it. When you're down there, you need to come up for air, which leaves you vulnerable. A shark does not need to come up for air. And so I think that's what makes sharks so scary, is in the water, humans are at a significant disadvantage. And thus we're vulnerable in the water. And that's why people are afraid of sharks. That is my opinion on a big factor of it. Oh yeah, they absolutely do. Well, yeah, Cryptic. Most sharks need to keep moving, but they do not need to breach the surface of the water to breathe. And let's face it, if you're swimming in the ocean, you have to breach the surface of the water. It ain't so easy to look down, keep breathing air, and be able to see properly in the water. A shark is not limited in that way. They just stay out of the water and they keep moving, and they're seeing you just fine. So it's that vulnerability of being weaker, much weaker in the water, where in the water, that's where obviously where the shark's strength is. Obviously, because they're a sea creature. I think that's when the fear comes out, is because in water, we are weak to a shark.
Too many times in people's business to ever get good graces. Meanwhile, sharks might just represent the fear of the unknown. The ocean is an endless, uncaring void that could wipe you out in seconds with nothing you could do about it.
That spider web thing was fake. I'm pretty sure this spider is fake.
In people's business to ever get good graces.
Yeah, that's a CGI spider. That's why it was so big. It's CGI. That's why I didn't jump, because I knew it was fake. I've seen this before.
Meanwhile, sharks might just represent the fear of the unknown. The ocean is an endless, uncaring void that could wipe you out in seconds with nothing you could do about it. And projections are hell of a drug, since that unsettling fear often gets put on the apex.
Wow, okay. That was fucking creepy. Okay, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Watch this. Okay, watch this right here. This is fucking creepy.
Projection's a hell of a drug, since that
is scary.
Often gets put on the apex predators of that void. But that's a problem right there. You hear?
Yeah. That was fucking scary. Like, that is fucking terrifying. Seeing that coming out of the dark.
That unsettling fear often gets put on the apex predators of that void. But that's a problem right there. You hear sharks and instantly think of another Jaws movie. So maybe you should see the sharks that don't make the big screen. This is a zebra shark. It's a cinnamon roll of a fish that is somehow less of a threat than the trauma donkey it's named after. The zebra shark is the beginning of sharks getting the sea dog allegations, and arguably the most dangerous thing about them is their front face. If nature wanted me to take the thresher shark seriously, they shouldn't have given them such an unserious pair of eyes. It does not matter what the situation is, threshers will always look like they really need an adult. Now they do kill prey by delivering soul-evicting slaps with that tail, but look at him. He's just a baby. I'm sure there's a lot of cool
Okay, hang on. Not only sea puppy.
Look at him.
Chet. This is an anime girl. This is a fucking anime girl right here. This look on this thing's face right now is... Yeah. Those are anime eyes if I've ever seen them. Yeah.
He's just a baby. I'm sure there's a lot of cool stuff about the salmon shark, but honestly all I can think of is that they're the baby Looney Tunes G-rated version of great whites. The epaulet is a shark with no regard for the laws of nature, using special fins to literally walk on land. And when sharks wake up with student loans, taxes, and only 2 weeks vacation, it's all gonna get traced back to him. This is a spinner shark, and even though it's hunting, I can't not laugh at how unserious this is. The nervous shark is literally named after how terrified they are of anything human. And whale sharks are...
Well, wait. What'd that say?
The nervous shark is literally named after...
Sorry, I couldn't get any nervous shark footage, so here's a blue shark. So this is not actually a nervous shark, this is a blue shark.
After how terrified they are of anything human. And whale sharks are unbelievably wholesome for a bus-sized fish with teeth in its eyes. Speaking of whale sharks, you got other plus-size filter feeders like the...
Like, I've heard of the whale shark. The whale shark is one of the most chill... The whale shark is more closely, behaviorally speaking, to like a whale than it is a shark. Like, it is, like, so chill, and it's, like, swam with divers and, like, befriended divers. It is unbelievably chill. Yes, Shinmasen, you can. You absolutely can. Look, I mean, this is a whale shark. You absolutely can pet a whale shark. I don't even think it has teeth. I'm reasonably sure a whale shark does not even have teeth. Yeah, you can hitch right on it, you can pet it, you can snuggle it. They are unbelievably chill.
For a bus-sized fish with teeth in its eyes. Speaking of whale sharks, you got other plus-size filter feeders like the basking shark. They're about 30 feet long, the second biggest shark, and they're really only a threat to your mental health. Especially since a lot of plesiosaur panic can get traced back to a dead baskie. Then there's the megamouth shark, which honestly probably would be scary if you didn't know it's also a giant krill-eating pushover that lives in the forgotten corners of the ocean. Then you got the sharks you forget are sharks.
Megamouth shark from Tokai University Main Science Museum in Suzuka, part of that's being covered. Suzuka, Japan.
Sharks. Imagine you're at the shore and someone screams shark. Whole time they're pressed over a tasseled wabagong, a type of carpet shark that takes the name literally by living its life as a homicidal rug. Here you have the smallest shark in the world, the lantern shark. There's a sawfish that... oh, really? Okay, well, apparently it's not actually a shark, it's a ray related to a shark. But don't worry, because this is an actual saw shark, because you know the riddle at this point is conducive to the same traits, that's convergent evolution. And you can't forget nurse sharks being so unproblematic and curious around people, scientists called it the Labrador of the sea. And I'm glad they did, because now we get to go down the rabbit hole of sharks being dogs and cats at the same time. The poor beagle is a shark named after a porpoise and a beagle. Yeah, I don't get it either, but we'll get back to that. Dogfish were named after fishermen apparently watching them chase smaller prey in packs, like dogs. But some dogfish are also cat sharks, and they got their name from the vertical feline-coated eyes. Like the small spotted cat shark is also at the same time called the lesser spotted dogfish. Google says there's over 150 species of cat sharks, including the chain cat shark, or chain dogfish, because of course, their biggest flex is they can...
Holy fuck, my brain is starting to hurt right now. Casual, you are starting to do injury to my brain with all this. He's going so fast, I'm having trouble keeping up with what's a cat shark, what's a dog shark. And some dog sharks are cat sharks, and some cat sharks are dog sharks, and... Look! I cannot keep up with this! Holy shit!
Glow green through biofluorescence. And they're not the only ones. It turns out over 50 species of sharks like kitefin and swell sharks can light up. That's about 10% of all sharks, and some actually use a light to hide. That might sound confusing, but if you're a predator in the crotch of the ocean, all you have to do is look up, and anything that looks like a shadow against the light of the sky is probably your next victim. However, if you can take a cue from a lightsaber, you can blend into the skylight and basically disappear. In fact, counter shading is a concept most sharks borrow from, and it basically means if you're above them, then the darker roof blends into the dark of the abyss, but if you're under them, the light underbelly matches the sunlight hitting the water. And when you think about it, a lot of animals use this strat to avoid problems. But some take it a step further, because scalloped hammerheads are scientifically proven to tan themselves if they sit in shallow, sun-exposed water. Some say recruiting melanin is nature's way of keeping them from getting eaten by their own kind, by making it easier for the smaller babies to hide. We got a little off track, I won't apologize for it, but the point is, if you're still afraid of sharks, then maybe you should subvert your expectations. Especially since some sharks aren't even full-time predators. The bonnethead shark is like a hammerhead with performance anxiety. It's also an omnivore that eats seagrass, and in experiments, 60% of its diet included the green stuff. Whale sharks are also partly grass-fueled, and a study from Forbes found that half of what goes through them are plants like algae and sargassum. Okay, so maybe you're still afraid of sharks. Maybe it'd help if you knew what are sharks afraid of. There's only one thing that can send the Star of Jaws packing, and you already know it's orcas. Killer whales are known to mutilate great whites for their livers, and often that's all they take. The sharks have been so beaten down that Monterey-based scientists found that great whites off Farallon Islands will abandon their favorite hunting grounds for up to a year if they run into the assault cetacean once. Researchers have even started playing the sounds of orcas on loop to keep sharks away from beaches, and imagine minding your own business and a hairless iPhone monkey plays your ops anthem. And I wouldn't call it fear, but both dolphins and sea lions have been known to bully great whites by abusing the always superior power of friendship. Okay, now I just feel bad for them. Bull sharks are honestly the closest thing to the stereotype.
Wait, dolphins? I get. I've heard about dolphins like running in a pod. I think a dolphin group is a pod. I think. Like I've heard about dolphins that will, like, if they get if there's a single shark, like dolphins can drive a shark away, because dolphins can be some mean motherfuckers. Like dolphins can be seriously mean. They okay. I'm not sure how factual this is, because I've heard this is both factual and untrue. I've heard both, and I haven't actually researched it. But I've heard, like, we've all seen the video clip of the woman where the dolphin is basically, like, grinding on her. And, yeah, exactly, Kanito, that's what I'm talking about. Is, like, the dolphin's, like, grinding on this woman, and she's laughing because she thinks it's fun, but the dolphin's actually trying to SA her. Now, like I said, I have not been able to fact check that, whether or not it's true. Like, obviously I've seen the video footage, I've seen it, but if that was what it was, like, scientists said that's what it's trying to do or not. But I've heard that dolphins can be some serious, like, they are not like the puppies of the sea that everybody thinks they are. They are some mean motherfuckers. Seriously. Did he do a video? Okay. Yeah, they are mean. Now, sea lions, I have not heard about them driving sharks off. That one is new. That one I hadn't heard about. But I suppose, you know, if you have a group and there's a threat, yeah, you're gonna team up to try and get the hell away from it. Absolutely, I get that.
Okay, now I just feel bad for them. Bull sharks are honestly the closest thing to the stereotype, and they have about the highest testosterone levels of any animal. Yeah, even more than a down bad elephant. And even the bull shark has fears, and its biggest are crocs. They often frequent the same waters, and the rageaholic of sharks gets a severe attitude adjustment just by
No, don't get me twisted. An adult bull shark can give a croc problems, but crocs will prey on baby bulls enough to make the sharks avoid them. Okay.
smelling them. They've also gotten sent packing by hippos, but by far the strangest thing.
Okay, that is not surprising, because we all know what the hippo can do. Hippo don't give a fuck. Hippo will fuck your world up, so that's unsurprising. But Corvid, that's what we were talking about. There's a video of a woman, and a dolphin was basically humping her, and she was laughing like it was funny, but the dolphin was legitimately supposedly trying to SA this woman, and that's what I'm talking about.
Sharks are afraid of. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. There is a very real thing sharks are just by smelling them.
There is a set of twin killer whales off the coast of South Africa wrecking sharks.
That doesn't surprise me, Sadistic. I mean, it's what he was just talking about, like killer whales.
There is a set of twin killer whales off the coast of South Africa wrecking sharks.
Do that. Why did it just do a double? It's weird. Anyway, but yeah, he just talked about how killer whales are basically the enemy of sharks. It doesn't surprise me at all.
By hippos, but by far the strangest thing sharks are afraid of. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. There is a very real rabbit hole of the most notorious underwater predators getting pressed by some bubbles, with hammerheads and tiger sharks reportedly really uncomfortable with the bubbles from scuba tanks, and
apparently marine biologists have to wear different scuba gear to avoid scaring them off.
scientists even working on making bubble curtains to use as a type of bug spray, but for sharks. Which was funny until I realized dolphins probably just have them that messed up. If you want the definition of irony, it's spending 400 million plus years predator maxing just to get stressed by a SpongeBob scene transition. So play some Orca opera and you'll keep sharks away, but the wrong playlist and you might just bring sharks to you. Sharks are attracted to heavy death metal music, because apparently the vibrations and beats sound just like struggling injured fish.
Actually, yeah, that honestly makes perfect sense now when he was saying it, because that is what attracts a shark, is you're getting vibrations in the water from any fish or prey animals that are thrashing around, and that rapid thrashing usually of a tail is going to present a lot of vibration through the water. When you get that heavy vibration of heavy metal, is mostly heavy vibrations. It makes perfect fucking sense. Yeah. So in other words, sharks are
metalheads.
Yeah. They are. Sharks be metalheads. It drives they get, play some metal, watch sharks get into a mosh pit of death.
Remember, sharks are like the morgue of the sea, and dive operators like Matt Waller will use music as a Batman symbol to attract sharks. Their favorites? According to him, AC/DC, You Shook Me All Night Long, and Back in Black are the best at getting their attention. So are certain colors, because for a while, it was widely believed that the
No. Not heavy death metal. Old school. You just said AC/DC, Shook Me All Night Long, and Back in Black attracted the sharks the most. So and that's not even metal. That's rock. That's like old school rock.
The single worst color to wear if you're afraid of sharks is yellow. And in fact, it was nicknamed Yum Yum Yellow for how wearing it could turn you into a literal snack. The truth is, sharks are likely colorblind, with only one color cone in their eye to R3, meaning they see the world in black, white, and shades of gray. Now what they can see is contrast, and anything that stands out against the ocean blue immediately gets their attention. The more you know. Now let me ask you a question. You think sharks get silly? Like you think in 400 million years of being alive, they figured out how to have fun? Well, remember the poor beagle? Scientists peeped that the shark named after a dog will roll around in kelp, tossing around like a football, and even take turns chasing each other. Great reef sharks sink if they don't swim, so they'll often swim against current updrafts in order to surf and basically take a break from the whole just keep swimming thing. But what's crazy is they have a conveyor belt system where once one shark reaches the end of the line, it'll let the current carry it back to where it started. You could say it's just them saving energy, but is that not the same energy as this? Sharks have been fighting stereotypes like a boxing match for years, and the closest thing to an uppercut they got is the fact that sharks have friends. In 2023, researchers found that two great whites, Simon and Jekyll, had traveled more than 4,000 miles together after being first tagged off the coast of Georgia in 2022, eventually ending up in the Gulf of St. Lawrence just off New Brunswick, Canada. It shows you how little we know about them, because a couple years ago, nobody would believe the final boss of sharks was down for a travel buddy. Shark scientists—
Wait a minute. I just realized something. What did he say? National Geographic. My brother in Christ. What did you say? I didn't realize it's all about a second after process. He said Gulf of St. Lawrence. And what province? They did not. No. Look at this map. Do you know where this is? Do you know where this is? This is not New Brunswick. Hang on a second. What the hell am I hearing? Hang on a second. It might be just over the border, but I don't think it is. Hang on, let me check. It could be just over the border, and that's where I'm getting screwed up. Okay, yeah, it is. It's just over the border. No, he's right. It's literally just over the border.
Eventually ending up in the—
Yeah, it's just a little bit over the border of Nova Scotia, and no, it is in New Brunswick proper. I jumped the gun on it because it's actually close. It's, it'd be closer to like PEI than Nova Scotia anyway. No, he's on it. He's on it. My brain just short-circuited for a second.
The Gulf of St. Lawrence just off New Brunswick, Canada. It shows you how little we know about them, because a couple years ago, nobody would believe the final boss of sharks was down for a travel buddy. Shark scientist Yanis Papastamachiou linked up with researchers from the University of Hawaii, Exeter, and UC Santa Barbara to study reef sharks in the Palmyra Atoll to uncover the secret social circle of sharks. What they found was that these sharks have a literal social circle, with the same sharks hanging out together in the morning, separating and going about their business during the day, only to meet up again later. These shark groups—
Is it? Sorry, chat. Hang on 2 seconds. Oh, that's what I'm hearing. Oh, I've got a thunderstorm happening right now. That's what I was hearing. There's a thunderstorm happening right now. Okay. So, chat. Finding Nemo was more accurate than we might have realized. How about that? Finding Nemo is actually more accurate than we realized. Yeah, my power should be fine. I do think my power should be perfectly fine. I do. And Xanax, where did you leave this link? Xanax, if you've got like a video that you want to show, please feel free. You could just post it in the video section, not video suggestions, but videos. You can put it in videos. That's just a general, hey, this is interesting. Anybody might want to check it out. So you can post it in videos. That'll be fine. And Alex, even if my power goes out, I have a battery backup, so I'm not going to suddenly vanish. I'll be able to go, oh shit, guys, my power went out. I gotta go. So, don't worry.
even use the same part of the reef day after day like a high school lunch table, and these friend groups lasted the entire 4-year study. And it's not just reef sharks. By night, nurse sharks hunt alone, but during the day, they join cuddle parties of up to 40 in order to save energy. It must work, because white tips also power nap as a stack pack. Sand tigers are like sea coyotes, where their fusion...
Did you know sand tigers and gray nurse sharks are the same thing? I didn't. Oh, interesting.
Fishing. They have a close network of sharks they associate with, and even sharks they'll meet up with multiple times a year. Scientists now believe that if a shark has their version of a best friend, it's usually someone that's roughly the same size, the same sex, and about the same age, which would explain Simon and Jekyll. But now the real question is, can sharks form bonds with people? And the answer, like everything else,
I think yes.
It's complicated. Lemon sharks are not only famous for having favorite divers, but for getting jealous and overprotective when they see that diver around others.
Robbie, boo, hang on. Probably shouldn't have to say this, but don't go cuddling sharks, or at least don't blame me if you do.
If a nurse shark is a Labrador, the lemon shark's a golden retriever with gills. Here's my thing now. Sharks will form partnerships with other fish like remoras and pilotfish where they'll pick parasites off the shark, so this could just be a lemon guppy treating a person like any other cleaning service. Funny thing about pilotfish, sailors who saw them would swear they and sharks would act like close friends, and there's even stories of pilotfish chasing ships for weeks after they caught one of their sharks, apparently seeming distressed and anxious without him. And you probably wouldn't believe that if something like that didn't happen with a person. In 2001, shark conservationist Jim
And, Diamond John and Hostler. Thank you for the follows, both of you.
Abernathy removed a hook from the mouth of a tiger shark named Emma. 20 years and several Jim Abernathy. If something like that didn't happen with a person. In 2001, shark conservationist Jim Abernathy removed a hook from the mouth of a tiger shark named Emma. 20 years and several more hooks later, and Jim and Emma might as well be a married couple, with Emma still recognizing and rushing up to Jim even after up to a year apart. And we're not talking about nurse or lemon sharks, that's a 14-foot garbage disposal.
Did you see that? Chat, did you see that? Watch the shark's eyes when the diver just gently, strokes it. Oh, and Hassa, thank you for the tier 1. Thank you, I really appreciate that. And plus, Hassler, next week, you'll be able to get some new emotes too. Yeah, watch the shark's eyes when the diver just gently pets the snout.
Even after
just
up
watch.
To a year apart. And we're not talking about nurse or lemon sharks, that's a 14-foot.
Did you see that? It's like when, literally the shark closed its eyes when it did, when human did this. That is so sweet. Oh my god, that is so sweet and adorable. That's like, whoa. Kisahari, hi. Hello, Kisahari. How's it going? How was your stream? How was stream? Oh, and we've got some Dova and Commoner. Hi, guys. And Krabby. And Nick Twitches. Hello. Jackaball. Hello. And Lavender. Hi. How was stream, guys? How was your stream time? Did you have fun, I hope? Hope you had a fun time. Shared a bunch of embarrassing stories. Always a fun time to do embarrassing stories. That is always a fun time and embarrassing. Yeah, you guys kind of caught us on the tail end of learning about sharks and how wonderful they are. We just saw that. I'm going to rewind this for you guys. You just yapping is always good, Casey. Yapping is always good. I do it all the time. Yeah, check this out.
It's to Jim even after.
Okay, this is they're talking about can sharks bond with humans in this part of the video. You guys have to watch this. It is the sweetest thing I've ever seen. It's and in particular, watch the shark's eyes. It is
Later,
so
and Jim and Emma might
sweet.
as well be a married couple, with Emma still recognizing
Watch
and
this.
rushing
Watch
up
the
to
shark's
Jim even
eyes.
after up to a year apart. And we're not talking about nurse or lemon sharks. That's a 14-foot.
Like the shark literally when the human touched not the snout of the shark closed its eyes. It is so sweet. It is so heartwarming. I just curious or casual. I know you said you're not gonna be responsible. I wanna cuddle this little guy. I wanna cuddle him. It's so sweet.
A 14-foot garbage disposal with the personality of a lapdog. We don't know for sure if sharks can feel affection like one, but it honestly wouldn't be a surprise, since sharks are intelligent enough to be trained like dogs. Eugenie Clark was an ichthyologist nicknamed Shark Lady, who taught lemon sharks how to push a target and ring a bell for food, and they even learned how to tell apart different shapes and colors. Some aquariums in the UK train sharks to roll over and respond to signals and commands the same way Pavlov conditioned dogs. And gray bamboo sharks also figured out how to tell apart different shapes, even when researchers tried tripping them up with optical illusions. And even after 50 weeks, they still remembered their training. But really shouldn't be a surprise. Sharks were around back when Saturn was
Everyone, let's take a shark cuddle trip.
Bobby, that's so tempting right now. That is so tempting.
Beyonce and preying on a ring. Sharks are no dummies. You gotta respect that they might be the biggest flex nature ever made. Sharks can literally track your heartbeat through electroreception. They have a built-in GPS. They have replaceable fluoride-coated teeth that can't get cavities. Some, like the Greenland shark, can live for a legit hundreds of years. You can find sharks at the very bottom of the ocean, under an active volcano, and even swimming in River Thames. And I honestly don't know what to be more impressed by. Really, the only weakness sharks have is they can be put in a trance-like paralysis just by getting rotated.
Yeah, and I remember, some time ago, I think this was on Spike TV, when Spike TV was still a thing. I remember seeing something about this. Like, I caught a video of it, like a rebroadcast or something. It was, where they would pit two animals against one another, and the whole purpose of the show was that they would test the quote unquote weapons of each animal, fight strengths, and then they would supposedly feed all of this information to a computer, and the computer would run a simulation. Well, I didn't actually watch it on Spike TV. It was like a rebroadcast, like it may have been on YouTube or something I saw online. But they would feed all this information to the computer, and they would do I guess they probably did 1,000 battles with computer data to determine which one be, yes, kind of Robostar for, yeah, very similar. I think it was probably done by the same producer or the same showrunner would be my guess. And they did I think it was a great white versus a saltwater croc, I believe. And one of the things they talked about is if a shark flips upside down, I don't know if it goes into a trance, but it falls asleep or something. And it will if it goes upside down, it just sinks. Okay, Kisa, have a good night. Get some sleep. Trust me, I know what you're talking about. Get some sleep. Have a great night. It's a trance, or they just severely relax, or something along those lines. So I've heard of that before because of that show.
The tonic immobility is usually triggered by pressing down on the snout, but sharks can induce it in some painfully awkward situations. Humans usually only put sharks on standby to study and tag them. Meanwhile, orcas do it to steal their organs like a black market merchant. But this time, I'm not going to call them an oppressive Oreo, because we do something way worse. Shark finning is the practice of cutting off the fins and tossing a now mutilated shark back into the sea, where their only option is to slowly drown or bleed to death. Depending on the shark, that can take an excruciating 2 hours. And this is a fate that follows not hundreds, but up to 100 million sharks a year. All for something Gordon Ramsay called mid. At the end of the day, we
wait. Hey, what do you say?
Million sharks a year. All for something Gordon Ramsay called mid. At the end of
what? Ramsay said, "What does it taste of?" It's really bizarre because it actually tastes of nothing. The broth is really good, but it could have anything else in there. Chicken, pork belly, the one spoiling it is the shark's fin. The bland fin doesn't deliver. They eat it because it's simple status. It's fucking mad. On learning that sharks have their fins hacked off before they're dumped in the ocean, Ramsey said, "Leave them alone. Respect their beauty." Yeah, and I think he was. I think he talked also on I forget what interview it was, where he was on location doing something and they encountered like shark poachers and like almost got shot because these shark poachers will shoot you if you try to interrupt because shark fin sales like on like black market. I think he talked about it on Hot. I couldn't remember if he was on Hot once he talked about it or not. Um like shark fins, like, they're obviously black market because I'm not 100% sure if shark fins can be sold on open market because I think it's typically in China where it's done. I'm not sure if it's black market only or if China just does not give a fuck and they say sure sell it in the wet market. But these fetch a really high fucking price because I think probably because people hate it. Oh yeah, it's 100% banned in the West, Robo Spartan. That's why I said in the East. I think it was China. So yeah, I thought it was illegal in most places, but I can't remember if China actually made it illegal or if they just said fuck it, we don't care. Go ahead and sell it in the wet market. And I'm guessing that's probably what it is.
At the end of the day, we gaslit sharks like no animal has ever seen. We put up every World War combined numbers on them every trip around the sun. Meanwhile, sharks might get 10 on a good year. In fact, you can argue that for all the shark slander, humans have the highest KD ratio against them. No other wild animal gets done this dirty. Moral of the story? You know it's bad when the author of Jaws, Peter Benchley, would go on to regret writing it and dedicate the rest of his life to shark conservation.
Wow.
But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you had as much fun as I did. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, I'm gonna be posting the full GoPro footage of me swimming with sharks. Nothing too crazy. But other than that, make sure you drink water, hug your mother, R.I.P. Peter Benchley, R.I.P. Eugenie, and yeah, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
Oh my god. Yeah. We love the sharks.